It's another edition of Time About the Movies, and today we're taking a look at the first weekend of February 2002, February 1st to be exact, with only two movies. None of them are memorable whatsoever, but they're the ones that came out this weekend. So let's go ahead and start off with the biggest, in quotation marks, newest release of the weekend, and that is the college sex comedy, if you want to call it that, Slackers. And no, this is not the Richard Linklater 1990 movie Slacker. No. This is a completely different Slackers. And story here is that you have a nerdy college student played by Jason Schwartzman who blackmails a group of young men with his knowledge that they have cheated throughout college and use it to get closer to a young woman he is obsessed with, played by Jamie King. Among the cast in here, you also have Devon Sawa, Jason Segel, Laura Prepon from That 70s Show, Mamie Van Doren's second to last movie she was in before she passed away at the age of 71, where she apparently also appears naked as well, which is, yeah, that's going to get people into the movie theater for this. But in addition to them, you also have, how do I go from that? But you also have Joe Flaherty is also in the movie as well, Retta from Parks and Rec, Jim Rash from Community, Cameron Diaz and Gina Gershon have a cameo in here as well. So there are some notable names in here. The writer of this is actually a guy who wrote American Pie 2 just the previous summer, David Steinberg. And, yeah, so, yeah, this is one of those movies where, I mean, it's a movie that's clearly trying to cash in on the American Pie ideas, trying to be a new Animal House. I mean, it's literally kind of the similar concept to Animal House, pretty much, with these guys who scam their way through college and basically cheat their way through the system. And this time you have somebody who gets in their way, and you think that would lead to something funny. And I remember watching this movie as a kid. I remember watching this movie thinking that there might have been something funny about it, some stuff I remember from it. But even then, now that I've watched it again as of late, there really is not a whole lot I remember about this movie that's actually good or something that's memorable about it. But, I mean, yeah, it's just not a good movie. It explains a lot why this was dumped in the middle of February, is the beginning of February. And, I mean, the only real thing I really remember about this movie was that I thought Jamie King had more to do in this movie than she did in something like Pearl Harbor, where she was just kind of there to just be a stock character that you were supposed to care about, but you really do not. But yeah, I thought I remembered some stuff from this movie that I thought was actually funny, and watching it again, I really did not get a whole lot of laughs from it. I mean, the moments that they have in here are kind of moments that are not really that clever, not really that obnoxious. They're very obnoxious, but they're just not, nothing about it really stands out as funny. The only thing I really remember from it was the fact that I kind of like Jamie King in this. I actually thought she was actually a decent character that actually had more to do than something like in Pearl Harbor, where she was really just kind of a stock character, like I said before. But even Jason, like, none of these characters are really likable per se. You don't really give it too much about these guys who are scamming their way through college. Jason Schwartzman is just a creep in general, honestly, and I don't know. I mean, to me, this is one of those movies where I thought going back to it, I might remember more about it, and it might be one of those things like How High, or, you know, some of these movies I've talked about recently where they should not have been good movies, and they actually turn out to be somewhat surprisingly funny movies. Going back and looking at this one again, I can honestly say that, yeah, this one did not hold up well over time, and sadly, it's one of those ones that I thought that I liked back in the day, but watching it now, it's just like, yeah, this does not hold up well whatsoever, and it's a shame because there's good talent involved in here, but there's just not really a whole lot there. The jokes really aren't that funny. The writing isn't really all that clever. There's not really a whole lot of sex in this comedy that should have that type of sexual humor to it, and it just feels kind of wasted. It feels like wasted material overall. Everything about this has potential for something, but there's just nothing there to it when it's all said and done. And it's just like, yeah, it's one that I really do not remember, really did not like. It's one that I thought I liked more than I thought that I let on, but it just didn't work for me. And yeah, I can see why it was dumped on this weekend. So that's Slackers for you. So let's go ahead and move on to the last one we have here, and that is Nicole Kidman and Ben Chaplin in Birthday Girl. Speaking of movies that have no idea what they're trying to sell themselves as, we have this movie here where you have Ben Chaplin as a English bank clerk who orders a Russian mail order bride played by Nicole Kidman. Okay, I had some questions about that, but it becomes clear upon her arrival that Nadia cannot speak English, and early into her stay, two mysterious men come to the house claiming to be her cousin and cousin's friend. This sells itself as an erotic comedy thriller, but that trailer, I couldn't show you the whole thing, but yeah, needless to say, that trailer definitely does not know how to sell this movie. Like, this is a movie that really has no idea what they're trying to sell you on, except for the fact that it's Nicole Kidman as a mail-order bride. A Russian mail-order bride, nonetheless. And she's probably the best thing about the movie, though. That I can honestly say that, because, like, yeah, the movie itself really is not that great, but, I mean, it gives Nicole Kidman a chance to do some ranging in terms of her acting. I mean, this is before she won her Oscar for The Hours, which I think happened the following year. Yeah, because The Hours was 2002, if I'm not mistaken. We'll get to that later on down in the year. But, I mean, it does show that Nicole Kidman does have a lot of range as an actress, so I guess that's the one thing I gotta give the movie credit for. But other than that, though, this is not a very good movie. Despite the fact that this is directed by Jez Butterworth, who has been more known for his more recent work. I mean, he's the guy that co-wrote Enter Tomorrow. He wrote the James Brown biopic Get On, Black Mass, Spectre, Ford v Ferrari, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. I mean, he's done a lot of work that you're very familiar with. So I don't know if I can really blame it on him overall. I mean, maybe it is on him because he's the writer and director, but I just don't think there was a story that really worked in this case. I mean, like I said, the tone in this movie is all over the place. It really does not know what kind of a story it wants to tell, what it wants to be like. Does it want to be like one of those movies like... The more I think about it, I think it's trying to be kind of something like The Tourist that came out at the start of the next decade with Johnny Depp and Angelina Jolie. Another one of those movies that kind of has no idea what it wants to be, but it has these two sexy-looking actors, like Angelina Jolie and Johnny Depp, and they try to sell that just on that movie alone. But that movie didn't work for a number of different reasons. Kind of like what this movie did, mostly because the tone is all over the place. But at least in this movie, there are things about this movie that I can give it credit for. Like I said, Nicole Kidman I think is really good here. Ben Chaplin, like I said, he's not bad in the movie, but their chemistry is not really all that great in here. Vincent Cassel is also in here, and so is Matthew Kassovitz. But, yeah, it's another one of those movies that just, it's trying to sell you on something that it doesn't even know what it really is trying to sell you on. And probably with a better script, maybe this could have been handled better, but I guess if you're going to see this, see it for Nicole Kidman's performance. But other than that, there's nothing really about this movie that I can say that you should definitely check out. Yeah, definitely not a very good movie the more I think about it. But I thought Nicole Kidman was fine in it, but that's pretty much all I can say about it that's positive. So anyway, that's Birthday Girl for you. And so with that said, we wrap up another edition of Time About the Movies. The next time we meet, we'll take a look at 3 more movies, including Arnold Schwarzenegger in Collateral Damage, what may be his worst action movie. And that really is saying a lot for him. But we also have Frankie Muniz, Amanda Bynes, and Paul Giamatti in Big Fat Liar. And also John McTiernan's Rollerball, another infamously bad movie. But so basically we have a sandwich, probably the worst sandwich ever, but it has a nice little filling in the middle. And I'll delve more into that on the next episode. We'll take a look at those 3 movies next time. But until then, thank you so much for watching. And if you want to see more videos like this, please hit the place on the next page. Check out the previous episode. And also don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this on this channel. So with that said, I am off. I will see you guys next time. But until then, as always, take care.